Let's be real. The conversation around AI and your job is absolutely relentless. Is it a revolution? A total replacement? It's a lot. So in this explainer, we're going to cut right through all that noise. We're not going to guess. We're not going to speculate. We're going to look at what the data actually says.
So, is AI really coming for your job? I mean, that's the billion-dollar question, right? It causes a ton of anxiety. But what if we could just stop guessing? We're going to tackle this head-on using one of the biggest, most detailed, real-world data sets ever put together on this very topic.
So our guide here is a landmark study from Microsoft Research. And get this, they analyzed 200,000 real, anonymous conversations people had with Bing Copilot. This isn't some lab experiment or a crystal ball prediction. This is a snapshot of how people like you and me are already using AI, right here, right now.
Okay, so to really get what's going on, we have to pop the hood and see how this engine actually works. Because it turns out there's this really fascinating and important difference between what we want from AI and what it actually does to help us.
The researchers broke it all down into this simple but kind of brilliant idea. You've got the user goal, that's what you're trying to accomplish, and then you have the AI action. That's the specific task the AI performs to help you out. And trust me, understanding that distinction, it's the key that unlocks this whole puzzle.
All right. Check this out. It's a perfect example from the research. Your goal is super simple. I need to figure out how to print a document. Now, the AI doesn't become the printer, right? No. Instead, its action is classified as training others to use equipment. See that? It's acting like a teacher, not an operator. And that little gap between our goal and the AI's role is where it gets really interesting.
So what happens when we take that goal versus action idea and apply it across all 200,000 of those conversations? Well, a pretty shocking disconnect starts to show up. It gives us a window into what AI actually does for us, and it's probably not what you'd expect.
So, what are we mainly asking AI for? The data is crystal clear. We are overwhelmingly using it for classic knowledge work. The number one thing, by a mile, is just getting information. That's followed by getting help with writing and creating content. Those are our main goals.
But here's the twist. Look at the AI's role in all of this. It isn't just doing our tasks for us. More often than not, it's acting like a coach, an advisor, or a teacher. It's explaining, it's coaching, it's providing info, it's playing a support role, not a replacement one. And that's a huge deal.
Just how big is this disconnect? Get ready for this. The study found that in a staggering 40% of conversations, the user's goal and the AI's action were two completely different kinds of work. Think about that for a second. Nearly half the time, we ask for help with one thing, and the AI helps us by doing something else entirely.
The data also gives us a kind of report card for AI, what it's good at and, well, where it's not so hot. We report being really happy when we use it for writing, for research, for comparing products. But our satisfaction takes a nosedive for things like deep data analysis or visual design. It's like we love it as a co-writer, but we're not quite ready to hire it as our graphic designer.
Okay, so we know what the AI is doing. The obvious next question is, whose jobs are made up of those tasks? So the researchers created what they call an AI applicability score to connect the dots between what the AI does and actual real-world occupations.
And when they ranked the jobs that are most aligned with what AI is doing, a really clear pattern just jumps out. The top 5 are all about communication and information, right? You see interpreters and translators, historians, sales reps, writers, customer service. These roles are dead center in the territory of what we're all using AI for right now.
Now let's flip the script. The jobs with the lowest applicability scores, these are the ones that involve physical labor, working with your hands, or direct physical care. Roofers, housekeepers, dishwashers, nursing assistants. This really highlights the big divide. AI's impact today is in the world of information, not the physical world.
And if we zoom out from specific jobs to whole categories, the trend is just as clear. Sales, computer and math fields, and office and admin support, these show the highest applicability. And you have to realize, these 3 groups alone represent tens of millions of workers in the US economy. This is a massive shift.
So, what's the big takeaway from all this? What does it actually mean for you? The data is not pointing to a future of mass job loss. Instead, it strongly suggests a future of profound job change. The very nature of our work is what's evolving.
And here's another thing that busts a common myth. It's not just high-wage jobs or low-wage jobs getting affected. The study found only a really weak connection between a job's salary and its AI applicability score. This change is happening across the entire economic spectrum.
You know, the study's authors use a perfect historical parallel for this, the ATM. Think about it. The ATM automated the main task of a bank teller, handing out cash. But it didn't kill their jobs. No, it freed them up to focus on more valuable, human-centric stuff like building relationships. And the total number of teller jobs actually went up. It's an amazing lesson from history.
So, the single most important takeaway here is this shift in thinking. This isn't about pure automation, where a machine just replaces a person. The data is screaming augmentation, where AI acts as a tool that enhances our skills, letting us offload certain tasks so we can focus our human talents on what we do best.
So we'll leave you with a question to take with you back to your own life. Look at your own job. Which of your tasks are the big user goals, and which ones could become AI actions, freeing you up to focus on what only a human can do? Because the answer to that might just define the next chapter of your entire career.